air guitar. Throwing it back to my high school days. Hit it! The Cult, she sells Sanctuary on this Thursday night. Remember, there's always a reason, well, not always, but most of the time, I try to weave a reason why you're listening to the song you're listening to tonight. Because if you saw The Conjuring Last Rites, you know that in a transition, we're back in 1986. And here comes The Cult. Although I believe this is 85. Either way, I was excited to hear it. I'm like, okay, maybe I won't hate this movie. The Conjuring universe has never really done much for me. I think it peaked back in like 17, maybe Annabelle, right? Now we're in 2025 and we've just done it so many times that, man, it's a tough one again tonight. I suffered through it. In fact, if you don't believe me, I will show you. As you can see, I like to show you my in-theater selfie, the reaction that I had to the film. Yeah, I do have the IMAX poster. I'll dig it up here and show it to you in a minute, but you can see it was laying on top of me as I was crashed out watching this very forgettable film. It's tonight's MMT evaluation. It is The Conjuring 4. It fit into a lower third better as that title. Let's do it here tonight. Thanks for being here live solely on YouTube tonight. So enjoy. This stream will not be super long. So if you have a comment, come in and get to it. We're going to do this, and then we're going to get to the reaction for The Bone Temple. 28 years later, the sequel. Let's pray it's better than the first. We'll talk about that in a moment, but first it's time for a taste of tonight's MMT evaluation. It's The Conjuring Last Rites.
Take this back to the beginning. When did it start?
April the 29th, 1985. We're in the kitchen and the ceiling light came crashing down. We're now entering the master bedroom, where a good deal of the phenomenon has occurred.
One night I was sitting in bed, and it felt like someone touched me on the shoulder. I turned around and looked, and I couldn't move.
Jump scare, everybody! That's pretty much all you get here. There's no real scares with a film like this, right? It's just a bunch of very sanitized commercial horror. And you feel it. And you feel the runtime. This film's 2 hours and 15 minutes long. That's at least 30 minutes too long. You know why it's so long? Because you have this family dynamic overload. You got the two families. The one that's getting haunted, and then Ed and whatever her name is, their family's dynamic. So it feels like you're watching some kind of episodic show. Get to it. Where's the demonic possession? Oh, and then it turns out it's a haunted mirror. Remember when they did this before? It was Oculus. I'll bet you no one but me remembers Oculus that was better than this in the realm of haunted mirror horror films. It's time for this franchise to come to an end. Please, mercifully, kill it off. We've done enough of these. And one thing that I learned here tonight watching The Conjuring Last Rites, Warner Brothers does not limit its directors. We have seen this repeatedly this year. Now, that's both a very good thing and a very bad thing, okay? A very good thing would be something like, oh my God, what was the best Warner Brothers movies this year? You know that I did not love many of them. I would actually tell you that my favorite Warner Brothers movie this year was Minecraft. And what did Warner Brothers allow him to do with that? Make it totally weird, unique, and just off-the-wall batshit. And it worked. Look, $1 billion essentially worldwide. But conversely, you look at films like Mickey 17, where you let Bong do whatever he wanted, and we all were sliced and diced, 1,000 paper cuts of sheer hell. Mickey 17, one of the worst films of 2025, if not for 28 years later. It's like, they're really close, right? Take your pick. But back to Warner Brothers. When you let a director here in The Conjuring go 2 hours and 15 minutes, and when you watch this, you say, there are so many instances of this being able to be quashed, compacted, restricted, and made better and more tense, and everything that comes along with a tighter runtime. But Warner Brothers clearly is like, just do what you want to do, man. They did for Weapons. They did for Sinners. Mickey 17. And that's not always the best thing. And here it's not. And we pay a price, 20% on the MMT score. I'm done with The Conjuring. But the problem is, you're not. Let's look at sales. That's what we do here on Thursday night. We do the seat check. So it looks like AMC revamped their website and their app. So now it's harder to tell what seats are taken and what aren't. But now the ones that don't show up colored are the ones that have been sold. Before it was easier to see. Now you can see this looks pretty good if you know that the colored seats are available. Now, we're not getting racist here. Just because they're bluish purple does not make me racist for pointing that out. But that's pretty good for the 7:30 that just went off. They're still sitting in previews. Like a half an hour before mine started in IMAX tonight. Let's look at the IMAX 9:30. Same theater I just saw it in. We only had like 50 people. It's 3 o'clock screening. But still, Burbank usually does better than that at 3 o'clock. Well, tonight it's better. I think a lot of people watching the NFL game. I guess it's in a delay, which is weird, right? Thunderstorms, I would assume. Tornado, hurricane. What are we talking about? You look here, and only the front rows are available for the 9:30. If these people think they're going to get a scary movie, good luck. You'll be bored out of your mind. This movie almost put me to sleep. I mean, I had to wander off. Whenever I start wandering off to the runway area, right? When you first walk in, before you go into the theater, you can kind of still watch the movie and sit on the side and get on your phone. That's where I was 30 minutes into this movie. 30 minutes, and I still had another hour and a half of this shit? I'm telling you, man, that's why the stream's going to be short tonight. I have to watch these garbage movies. No wonder cinema's hurting. You're not supporting the cool films like Lurker, film that I told you run out and support. And instead we get more commercial, sanitized garbage horror in the form of another Conjuring movie. Which, by the way, they pass the keys literally to the next generation so we can keep making Conjuring movies. Because the two of them are like, we're done making these movies. We've made money, but I don't want to make another one. And I don't blame them. I'm done too. I'm going to put this at 44. But Could it go higher? This movie's not good. Okay. But here's the thing. Let's look at Conjuring: The Devil Made Me Do It back in 2021. That film debuted with 24 million, but look, it was the quote COVID-19 pandemic. We need to put that in quotes now, right? I feel like every website that does that now really needs to put COVID-19 pandemic in quotes, right? I feel like if I were running Box Office Mojo, I'd say we need to put quotes around that now. This is why the higher-ups don't like the Ace Man. Because I don't play by the same set of rules that everyone else does. Especially in this space, right? The mask-wearing weirdos. Oh, I've got to get my N95 or everyone's going to die. No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it tonight. I just wanted to say that's the difference between me and everyone else. This space is full of fearful left-wing losers. They are. I'm not saying right-wing or winners. I'm just telling you that the hard left are some of the biggest losers you'll ever come across. Okay? I'm going to make that 100% clear. If you don't notice that, I don't know what you're looking at, man. These people, you're like, where did you crawl out from? They're the ones that almost kept us in lockdown for the rest of our lives. All right, let's watch a trailer. That's enough of The Conjuring tonight. Oh, please say this is good. You guys know how I feel about 28 years later, the first one with, oh, my Lord, Danny Boyle, what'd you do? Like I said, you talk about a Mickey 17 or 28 years later. Which one was more brutalizing to sit through? I would say Mickey 17 because at least 28 years later, at times, not over the long run, but at times you're like, okay, I'm down with this. You just wish it were the trailer, not the movie we got. Well, Nia DaCosta is directing this one. It's part 2 of the trilogy 28 years later. And I like Nia. I think she did a pretty damn good job on Candyman, even if Jordan Peele was there helping out. And there's not a question about that. Now, let's not talk about the Marvels, ever. Forget that. Movie never existed. Just talking about Candyman. Here comes the reaction for Let's Pray the Bone Temple's better than its predecessor. Let's do this live.
Trying to predict the future is a discouraging and hazardous occupation. In fact, it may not even exist at all.
Oh, what is it?
So we already have kind of a similar tone to the first one, right? With the old recording. I mean, the first trailer for 28 Years Later is one of the best trailers of all time. But so far, okay, let's just not get goofy. Please keep all of the ridiculousness out of this trailer.
Yes, I cannot see. Oh, I am deaf. None can excel.
Many of the things we take for granted.
So far, I'm bored out of my mind. Not going to lie.
Will one day
I mean, we all love Ray Fiennes. So that is a plus. But what they did to Jodie in stacking her skull on the pile of skulls. Let's talk about that in a minute, okay? How they undercut so much emotion in this film by pulling that off. Alex Garland, man, I don't even think he's a good writer at all. I don't know how he wrote Ex Machina. Was that based on another story? It had to be. Because Alex Garland is a writer. When you look at Men, when you look at Civil War, when you look at 28 Years Later, I think he's a fraud. He's a writing fraud, man.
pass away completely.
I open the door of heaven and hell.
When that time comes, men will no longer communicate.
Okay, so he's going to now try to tame the wild zombies. It's way soon, man. I'm telling you, diminishing returns. You wait. This film is not going to do very well. The first one did okay, right? That opening was like 30 worldwide. I can pull it up, but it's going to be much lower. Because the first one, trust me, one of my streams that has a lot of action on it is actually 28 Years Later, where I say it's one of the worst films of the year. People are like, hell yeah, where's everyone else saying this? That's what happens, right? Whenever you see something that you're like, wait, did people say this was good? Who said this was bad? Because that's someone I trust. Because I have not wrecked my credibility like so many. And we'll talk about the films that wreck credibility. That's coming up on Sunday. I'm going to need some of your films as well. But I put it out on X, and I can tell you that there's a lot of them that ruin credibility. And 28 years later is 100% one of them.
We may have diseases and barbarism. The whole world will cease to make any sense.
Of course, he has the wig on because he joined the Klan. There's the Klan from the end of the movie. Remember how goofy that was? Oh, shit. The Monty Python Klan's coming.
Look at the incredible changes we've experienced and survived. And yet even greater changes are still to come.
All you're selling me now is blood and guts. Everything else, I'm telling you, this looks almost as bad as the first. I have to see it. But after the first one, this has to be a masterpiece. And the fact that we have these continuing characters from Monty Python dragged through, there's no way it's going to be a masterpiece.
Are you ready?
Is that Roman Reigns, by the way, I think? I'm not. It's amazing how far I have fallen from the excitement of 28 years later to where I am here tonight, looking at this going, I don't even want to watch this shit anymore. This is how I'm feeling, and this is why the stream's going to be shorter tonight. I mean, just be unvarnished and just 100% like I'm doing one of these candid things on Road Rules. I'm seeing so many bad movies that I'm losing the interest in going to the movie theater. And tonight, when I sat down for Conjuring, I was already not thrilled to be there because I have not been cinematically erect watching one of the Conjuring films ever. So I'm like, how are we going to be it here? And the problem is for every lurker that I tell you guys you've got to see, I've got to sit through a Conjuring, Americana, Honey Don't, and you don't even want to go back, right? And this has been a really brutalizing time. If you go to the movies, you have seen some real refuse because this is the dead zone. Once you get into August, September, football's back, as you know, tonight, NFL for real, college football last weekend, and now the studios are like, well, the young male demographic's gone, so let's just not even really put anything huge out there. But even that demographic wasn't showing up for a lot of these films over the summer when you see diminishing returns on Superman, on Jurassic World. Guys, cinema, theaters are in big, big, big trouble. It is not me being an alarmist here. It is a critical situation where if we continue down this road, which we are, it's not going to change. Hollywood's making not great films. They're putting them on digital. Like Weapons is out, I think, tomorrow or next week. It's soon, right? Weapons is going to be on digital about a month after it dropped. These studios are destroying cinema by giving you garbage and then dropping it on digital. And sooner or later, this channel's got to morph into something else because I'm not going to talk about movies. It's going to be Midnight Madness talk. Whatever it is, it's not going to be, because these films are making me want to quit. And as such, it's a really bad space for me mentally right now. I mean, we're talking about movies. But you know, I'm talking about wanting to be doing this. And when you are in a situation where you're suffering through Conjuring, Honey Don't, Americana, you just say, I'm out, man. I don't want to do this. I'm going to start going to movies, and if they don't hook me in the first 30 minutes, I'm walking out. And I'm just going to say I walked out. Okay, I did that for Alto Nights because it was insufferably bad and boring. But from now on, Conjuring was a film I should have walked out of. But I wanted to finish it for tonight. I'm just going to stop. It's not worth it. It's not worth my fucking time to sit through this shit. Hollywood has a dearth of talent, has people in positions of power who are borderline psychotically stupid. I mean, there you go, right? Why do I say that? Because we have people in positions of power in this town who think they're good, but they're terrible. I talk about this all the time, man. In all these spaces. I brought this up the other day in an X, in a tweet, whatever. We live in a world now where everybody says, I can do this, and I'm great. And I believe the studios definitely believe that, especially egos. And the reality is, the average person isn't even talented to do that thing. So why do you think we're suffering? Because you've got some clueless person calling the shots at these studios, and they don't have balls. They're not fearless. They're not objective. They're trying to push an agenda, and we're all getting raked. I said rake. And I'm telling you, man, it's brutalizing me, and I'm just about done. I'm just about fucking done for the time being. I'm going to take a time out. The channel's going to go on hiatus for a while because I don't want to talk about these movies. I don't want to talk about it. Talk about something else. Good. I know. I saw that. Rico's going to have a bunch of classic movies. I wish AMC was going to do that. But, the thing is you're still watching them for the second time. I want to get that initial rush. My God, this film, I can't believe I'm watching this. We don't get that. Hardly at all. I mean, the past year, I've had that. I mean, Lurker's a very good film, but not even that. Substance gave me some of that. Okay. Obviously, got to go back to, the Moon Age Daydream 2022. And there's just some films that it's rare, man. It's rare. The majority of the shit is bad. And you're going to have people that are out there telling you The Conjuring's great. It's scary. It's exciting. It's like, and then I'm like, I'm done. I'm pulling the plug. That's it. I'm done tonight. Peace out. See you Sunday. Bye. Out.